initially did record and edit it. We're on. I'm too picky. It takes too long. So, what's going on, guys? So we're back again at the block. We're live. We're going to do some reviews and some pairing tonight. With this next one, we have a guest, a big member, and on. I'll have him introduce himself in a minute after I show you guys what we're doing. And I've paired him with the Girl Scout cookie. If you guys all been downstairs a few years back. So this one's we're going to do the tagalongs and the do-si-dos. So they're going to do this. We'll go into a convo, and then at the end, do some conversation. Crappiest one you ever tasted. Just go with that. So with that, we'll get cheers in here. I appreciate your time and you giving us time. So 477 is from after in the group. Really taste the orange flavor. So your choice, whatever choice of cookie. I'm gonna do chocolate because I'm a chocolate peanut butter. It tastes like a Reese's cup. Now when you pair this and try these, the first I always do three sips before you decide we'd like it. Front of the tongue, middle of the tongue, and the back. And then obviously, the longer it lingers on in the back, the people say the better the age, the better the more flavor.
Okay.
I don't get that one yet, but I kind of understand what they're talking about. It's kind of hard for me, but orange gives that chocolate a huge different taste. Huge taste. I do that one.
There's even a different taste after eating the cookie with this one.
Does it give you a little?
It's not as much orange.
Yeah. Does it give you a little bit of burn?
No burn.
No burn. How long is that orange flavor linger on?
Well, when I tasted it before I ate the cookie, the orange flavor stayed long.
Yeah.
Afterwards, I didn't taste much of the orange at all. But
yeah. So, have you ever tried this before? This whiskey?
no, I haven't.
So that's the way I like to do a taste review on it. I have tried it. I like it. But Bree recommended it here in the bar right now. I didn't really think about doing it tonight because I was going to do something different. But this was perfect that she had us try. Now, I always like it with blind tasting because you haven't tried it before. You get true, honest review. So we'll keep on drinking it. We'll get into discussion now, and then we'll see. Whiskey always tastes different when it catches more air over time. So
Okay.
and I think we have your wife over. She's having what'd you get? Old fashioned?
Yeah.
Peanut butter old fashioned, which is another great one that they make here.
I already tasted that. That's one that's
Yeah.
really good. I hadn't had that before.
It's really, I'm a huge the peanut butter whiskey flavors. I can't have peanut butter to cookie them. And the whiskey, it's hard for me. Those are real good.
We picked some of those up at the store before too, the peanut butter whiskey stuff.
Yeah, so, it's the screwball. Yeah. Because, did you guys try the eggnog this year?
Bird dog also.
Yep. Did you try the eggnog this year?
I did not.
No. Well, made a peanut butter eggnog. It was
Okay.
I was impressed with it. That was good. So, but with that, so if everybody's been following along, and seeing these past recent weeks, we've got into this. I guess you want to say more stickier issues and topics because when it comes to politics, people run. People are like, "Dude, you're crazy trying to interview that." But it has been fun because, and I really hope that on the government level of the ones that we interviewed, they stay positive. They don't have no negativity, and I really think that's hopefully the upper government we'll see how little government is, how we do it down here because city council I think is a place to start. I'm very interested in what it does and how to learn about it. And a lot of people ask me, well, why am I interviewing the city council? And then we talked to Brent. He was here. Nation was here. We'll have Sasha on in 2 weeks. and hopefully the other council members. But I really like to see everybody's perspective and how it works and what you guys do, because there's a lot to it. So with that said, I'll let you introduce yourself so the people that don't know you, give them your background, what you do, and how you got into city council.
Sure. Well, my name's Jeff Morford. With my wife, Beth Morford. She came to me to make sure I say the right things. But anyway, to Fort Morgan in 1996. I'm originally from South Dakota. We moved here expecting to stay here maybe 4 or 5 years, and as you can see, we like it here to stay.
Was it just for some work, or?
Well, actually, yeah, it was for work. The job I was at, moved here from Las Vegas, Nevada, actually, where I did banking back there in Las Vegas for 7 years. The job I was at there was a downsizing program. Unsure of my position at the time, which turned out to be safe, but we decided to move anyway after we got the opportunity to come here. It was kind of halfway in between our two parents. My wife's family lives in Utah, mine's South Dakota, so I figured it'd be a good position for us.
Right.
So,
Winters are about the same, right?
Winters.
So there's a lot of stuff that way?
South Dakota is, as a child growing up in South Dakota, we had snow all winter long.
We used to have it here.
Yeah, that's what I hear.
We used to. I got pictures of it, but not anymore.
Well, and I remember having a big snowbank in front of my house all winter long.
Yeah.
Building tunnels in it and going down on the sled. And
Nice.
so,
Nice. Like I said, I have pictures of the stove being porch high and you just jumping off the porch into it. But, so now you came here, you just ended up staying when you moved. What kept you here?
yeah, we like the community. It's a small enough community, but yet large enough where you can get the items that you need without going out of town. When you do want to go out of town to get away, Denver really is a hop, skip, and a jump away, and you can go enjoy some activities that you can't get here.
Yeah.
So
And then you stayed. You also at that time you came for what type of work was it? You said?
I'm in banking.
So it was banking also though what you came for?
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Yep.
So same field.
Same thing, same field. So I've been with actually different banks in town. So
And you're with who right now?
I'm with FMS Bank right now.
Okay.
So
That one's the
the windmill
Windmill Bank.
on Sherman and Platte.
Okay. So, and you've been there how long?
Been there going on 5 years.
Right on.
So prior to that, I was at another bank in town for almost 17 years.
Okay.
So
Always in the banking field. I did finance for a while for some car dealership.
okay,
It's rough. Car business is rough as it is, but being a finance manager, it was tough.
okay,
It's
yeah.
good. You can make some good money, but it's tough.
Mhm.
There's a lot to learn. It's not easy.
That kind of financing is a little bit different than the banking world.
Yeah.
But it's kind of the same.
Yeah. So what about doing? How long you said you've been in the banking for? How many years again?
Well, in Fort Morgan hold on, since 19 tells you my age, but since 1999 I've been
Okay. So we're here since '89. So
been here since 96.
'96.
Yeah.
So were you in the same? Because once to get into council, you have to be in the same ward. So have you lived in the same area?
Same, yeah. When we first moved to town, we rented a house
Okay.
in Brush.
Okay.
So for about a year, we lived in Brush until we found the house that we wanted to live in, and lived in that same house since, in the same ward.
So then,
Yeah.
that was one thing I want to talk because I don't understand how that all breaks down. I'm learning with the past ones that we've interviewed, the districts, the commissioners areas, so in city council is the same way. There's 4 wards,
There's 3 wards.
3 wards. Okay, now how do they break those down, determine those?
Well, yeah, I don't know the boundaries off the top of my head, but if you go to the city of Fort Morgan's website, there is a boundary map on there, and they're all color coded.
Okay.
So it's kind of, you got a spot here, and spot over there, but
Is it broken down by area or
it
population?
is by area,
Yeah.
yes.
So
I think they tried to do the areas by population, but
Okay.
their reason behind that, I couldn't tell you.
okay, all right.
So,
So then you're in Ward 1, correct? And who else? There's 2 people in Ward 1.
there's 2 people in every ward.
Okay, so who's your second?
So Doug Sashaw's in Ward 1 as well.
Okay. And you took whose chair?
I took Brian Urdiales.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. We just talked to him on Sunday. We didn't
Yeah.
get that. So
So,
what got you into it? What got you to do city council?
well, a number of reasons. When I moved here, there was a gentleman that asked me, "Do you want to be involved with So for 23 years, I served as a volunteer on the fire department. And it was just nice helping the community, helping individuals, and got to meet a lot of nice people on those fire calls, emergency calls, and whatnot. And it got me a long way in this community, get to know it helped the community.
It does help because I think that you go bigger city. I mean, just if you go to Greeley or Denver, I don't think they understand how we do it out here. So we volunteer.
Exactly.
Big cities. I mean, it's not. They get paid. They get paid. Some of the chiefs get paid big money, and city council more bigger government, bigger cities. But I don't think that they understand how it works out here with us volunteering. I mean, you sacrifice your time, kids and family, and your job because it also takes. I mean, it's a commitment, right?
Well, and not only that, it's commitment individually, but when you volunteer, it's a commitment for your employer. Especially being on the fire department as many years as I was, each employer that I worked for during that time was very receptive on that perspective on helping the community and leaving the work during that time, in which we need employers like that in Fort Morgan with the volunteer department and with all the volunteer organizations that we have, allowing them to leave during work hours to do that kind of stuff.
So how much time would you say it takes throughout the week? Because I know council meets every other week, correct? Every two weeks.
First Tuesday and Tuesday.
Okay. So what would you say that time-wise, how much time do you think you spend on it?
Well, right now I'm spending a lot more time than I ever did on the fire department.
Okay.
Fire department was an hour here. Sometimes if we got a big fire, a big emergency, something that took some time, but usually it was small little.
Is it because you're just getting into it, or
because I'm just getting into it? I'm trying to read, I'm trying to study, I'm trying to ask questions, and learn how this goes. As I heard from other council members, it's going to take you a year, if not 2 years, to get caught on.
How does that reflect back onto our community, our people, us, the citizens? I mean, are we a bugging problem?
It hasn't been so far. I almost wish.
I've heard it can be sometimes.
I may regret this, but I almost wish I would hear a little bit more from the community. I'm not at this point in time, but I'm sure that time will come.
Yeah. Is it more negative?
No, it's not. No.
Get some good calls, some good.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of people are just happy I'm doing it.
Yeah.
Excited that they have someone that they know that they can call upon if they do have any questions.
And how does it work with the social media? Does that work hand in hand with the phone call? I mean,
social media. There's not any social media with me connected to the council.
Okay. No. They don't have nothing like that.
Our numbers are listed on the city website, and we have a city email that comes right to my phone, and I check it regularly.
So what is let's say I'm a normal citizen in town. I have an issue problem. I call my council guy. 7, 8 o'clock at night. I mean, do you answer? How does that work?
I haven't had any calls at 7 or 8 o'clock at night, but
is there a rule or how do you guys keep a law?
There is no
rules.
There is no written rules that I know of anyway.
And how do you handle a citizen? Probably, I mean, sure you get some irate ones or something.
Sure, I haven't had any yet.
Because I know I live next door to a person. I won't say him or her, but during the wintertime when snow, the city's cleaning the streets. Oh man, calling the city or the council.
Sure.
So I can see it being a problem.
Yeah, it's funny. Every city has its problems. Yeah. I talked to my brother who lives in South Dakota still, and the city he lives in during the winter, the city plows the side streets. Which isn't done that much here. But he cusses it out every time because they leave a windrow right in front of his driveway.
I did have that happen.
Yeah. But, so you got somebody cussing that out that's clearing the streets and leaving a windrow, where our side streets are normally not cleared off. Yeah. Which is understandable. It takes a lot of manpower to do that.
And I think people, when we get that heavy snow, people don't understand. I mean, there's only so many people. There's only so many trucks. There's only so many plows to get all that snow moved out. And I know you guys sometimes start early in the morning, get that starting to clean when we have big snow. But people sometimes don't get it. You know?
I mean, that's what's wonderful about this world. I always say, my famous saying is, if everybody was the same and did the same thing, it would be an awfully boring.
Yeah, it would be way
Awfully
boring.
boring world.
Way boring. So right now with this city council I follow, we talked a little bit I mentioned this before we started tonight. I find city council interesting. I find, if you're watching the school board one on YouTube or you watch city council on YouTube, the commissioner ones on YouTube, I mean, it's because I have interest in it. Now, I think we need to have more interest in the community. What do you think would be an idea? I mean, we're trying to do that with what we're doing here. We're missing Freddie tonight because he's usually with us. He's on a family emergency and stuff you got to take care of. But we want to see younger people involved. What would you say? What would you think?
I definitely agree. The younger you are, the more time you have. Well, I shouldn't say that. The young,
But you get to serve in different parts.
you serve in different parts. But it doesn't matter if you're young, old, or whatever. Just be involved.
Yeah. What do you think the community needs? What do we need to do in Fort Morgan? You think to get more involved?
Good question. I think number one, we need to have some resources here to keep our younger members, our younger community members.
And I did see I don't know if you guys work much. The economic group was putting on they have a program they're putting on for the youngers. Are you guys, the city council involved with
The
that?
city council is not involved with that, but I have saw that program. They got some VRs set up to show that.
Yep. And I know they're doing something out here here this month, but they're trying to get the young crowd, the college kids,
Right.
to stay here after they graduate, even high school, things like that. So maybe that'll work out.
Yeah,
Maybe you could.
I forget the individual who's kind of spearheading that. John Crowley.
Yep.
That's right.
Yep. Yeah, I just see a couple clips on YouTube, on Facebook. That's cool. I think I'd be interested in checking that out to see what they're going to do.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
And hopefully you could carry it over into city council. I think we need, now, I'm going to say this the wrong way, but we need younger people and the older people to help the younger people stay there, but kind of transition. I think, and get the younger generations to step up and play their part.
Anything you do, whether you're old or young, it's a learning experience. Right now it's a learning experience for me.
Yeah. So learning through all the city council, there's different stuff that you have to learn as far as when you vote, the motion. What are those keywords? There's 3 or 4.
Well, there's in city council, they call for resolutions.
Yep. Resolutions.
Every other board that I've been on has called for a motion.
Okay. And a motion is to move forward, right?
Well, motion is to approve something as well.
Okay.
But the difference between a motion and a resolution, I haven't learned that yet. But in the banking industry, in our board meetings, most of our stuff is a motion to approve something or to go forward with something. We do have some resolutions, few and far between, which is a little bit more formal. So with the city, the resolutions, I got to believe they're just more formalized on that.
But when you do vote for something and to move, how much does that have to be voted on
That have
to approve it?
majority vote.
Okay, and there's how many council
So
members?
there's 6 council members and 1 mayor.
Okay, now,
So if there is a tie, the mayor is the tie-breaking vote.
okay, so manager has nothing to do with it, but presenting the
Correct. Correct.
Okay, so then what happens if if it's knocked down and not passed? Can it come back through?
Sure.
If there's stipulations, I guess.
Sure there is, yeah. It can always come back through, changed a little bit or not. If it comes back through the same way, with the same people, I gotta believe it's gonna be voted on the same way, unless there's different facts or different presentations up that may change somebody's mind down the road.
Right on.
But most of the times, if it is brought up again, it's something, a little bit's changed here, a little bit changed there to make it more presentable or to change another member's mind.
Now, how do you get to agree to disagree at that level? Because you all got to sit down with each other the following 2 weeks. In 2 weeks, you got to sit down with each other again. So you can't be arguing. You're going to see each other in the community.
Right.
So how do you agree to disagree? This is one of the things I really like to focus on, because when you get to upper government, they don't do that.
Well, funny thing, when we had our forum for the city council, this same question was brought up.
Yeah.
And my answer then, and still is now, disagreement is always good.
Yeah.
If you agree to disagree, because if everyone agrees, it's just rubber stamping and putting everything through. If you have somebody that disagrees, it brings up different ideas, different perspectives, gets other people thinking.
Yeah. And other ideas will come from it.
Exactly. So I think you got to have some disagreement to have good discussion.
I think all have to agree on that too. That's the key one.
Yeah, you can't have any hard feelings.
Yeah.
I mean, it's bringing up a disagreement is bringing up different ideas. It's not really somebody's mad or someone is out to get you. It's bringing up different ideas.
So what if you have? I know you haven't had the issue because it's new. Just started. You've been how many months now?
Well,
Is it
January
January?
7th, I took office, and so I've had
2 months?
3 meetings.
3 meetings. Okay. I know you probably haven't had the issue, but what if you have an issue where a citizen in your ward maybe gets you thinking on the idea that maybe you're going to vote a different way or something, and you take it to the board and there's big, how do you think you handle it?
But all you can do is bring up those ideas.
Now, do you bring up the citizens' idea, or you just tell them,
Well,
people in my ward are
it
saying?
depends on how many citizens you talk to.
Okay.
You may have 2 citizens disagree or say you want this. You may have a handful over here that wants it the other way.
Okay.
We're there to represent the ward.
Okay.
So in my mind, here again, you got to have your own perspective, but also you got to listen to your citizens and your ward members, and not even your ward members. You're going to have some other people within the city get a hold of you.
Yeah.
Especially working at the bank, I have people from every ward coming in to talk to me.
Is that hard to 'cause there is a fine line too, but talking to people about certain things or certain issues.
There is, and if you're talking about my position at the bank, whether it takes away from that, I've already talked to my employers and my bosses, and they're fine with that.
So I mean, every employer wants their employees to
Exactly.
be in
want
the
to be
community.
involved in the community. Yes.
So what about having the issue of maybe you vote? It's hard to vote on what you feel. You can't vote on feelings.
Correct.
So how do you differentiate that? How do you separate that?
You got to listen, and you got to take study
Yeah.
and take everybody's perspective into mind.
Yeah. Is it hard, especially when they're friends?
Well, I can imagine it's going to be. Yes, I haven't had that experience yet.
Yeah.
So
I just would think I mean, even just if it's your neighbor or your behind, people living across the alley.
yeah,
Actually say, you shouldn't do this. You shouldn't do this. But
you're going to have to sit down and talk to them.
yeah.
Let them know your points and why you're going to go this route or why you're not going to go this route. And I guess that's how I plan to handle it.
Yeah.
Whether that's the right way or not, I hope it is the right way. But it's always in my profession in banking.
Yeah.
There's that same thing where there are people wanting to get loans from me that I can't give them what they want all the time, but I can maybe give them this option instead of what they want.
Yeah.
And it's just a matter of showing them how this will benefit them still,
Yeah.
and we can eventually get to that
So
point.
what about the people that have? And I've seen this because I've been one of them. That they say, I didn't hear about the open meeting, or I didn't see it on the website, or I didn't. How do you handle that person?
But again,
Because I mean, it's always open. I mean,
it is
you're always welcome
open,
to
and
come and
you're
talk.
always going to have those people that don't do their research.
I've been there. Yeah.
There's not much you can say. I mean, shoulda, woulda, coulda. I guess is a hard way to learn.
Yeah.
But you can just say, well, I'm sorry you didn't reach it or see this in time, but in the future, this is where you can find this information
How do you
and
think,
provide them that information so they can learn. It's a learning experience, not only for me, but for everyone involved.
do you think there's another way that we could get information out to the public than the way we do it?
Absolutely. There's other ways to do everything.
I mean, the papers pretty much obviously
Yeah.
is done with.
Yeah.
I mean, radio is still there.
Radio
somewhat.
is still there.
Social media is huge, but not everybody pays attention to
I
that.
think social media is the hugest thing right now. And whether the city is on social media and presenting that kind of stuff, I think they are.
I think I see the post.
Yeah.
I'll see them post to your guys' webpage. When as far as it popping up on my feed or something, and probably people won't see it, won't read it. They'll pass
And
through it.
everything's posted at City Hall, of course. That is the same in every city in the nation. Every city has a spot that they post their meetings, post what's going to be discussed in those meetings, which is right in the front door of City Hall by the firehouse.
So going into city council, when you decided to make this jump or leap into the pool, the candidate pool, did you have a passion? Or is there? I don't want to say agenda because agenda sounds bad. But was there a reason? Outside of just because you want to get involved?
Well, I want to get involved. That's the main reason. And as I stated also, I spent 23 years helping the community and with the fire department. There was a couple years I was not laid off, but didn't do anything for the city. And I just felt, I want to do this, and I went back and forth. And I'm not going to do it. You can ask Deb. I'm not going to do this. Then I said, maybe I'll give it a shot. No, I'm not going to do this. Why would I want to stick my toes in the ground for this? And then
it can go a good way. It can go a good way, and it can go a bad way when you get into politics.
In everything, in everything you can go good or bad. It's not only politics, and I don't think a city council has politics.
No, I think it's on the lower end of it. I wish they would run politics the way lower government does. But, do you have kids?
Yes, I got 2 kids.
Oh, how old?
20. What is she? 20. Oh, she's 30. 30 and 20 for that. So 20 next month.
So not at home now.
I got one home. She'll be going off to school next semester. So she's finishing up her associates at MCC, and she's just was accepted at my college that I went to, Black Hill State in Spearfish.
Nice.
Yeah.
So now it wouldn't have been. So my reason of hopefully someday getting into. And again, agenda sounds bad, but I'm going to say the words that's what everybody uses. But my kid, my son, I think we're just totally on the wrong path when it comes to anything. When you get politics and stuff, and if a person can make a change for their kid, I mean that's my agenda.
Well, I think with city council, and this has been a long time ago, it was tough. City council was tough.
Yeah.
It got a lot of bad rap.
It was tough here for a while.
So from the I don't want to say from the newspaper media, but there was just a lot of controversial stuff going on, and it was tough for those city council members, and not a lot of people wanted to jump and get into that kind of drama.
Yeah. And it pushes a lot of people away because it was my sister worked for the city. I don't know if you knew my sister Yolanda. She passed away.
Oh yes,
but she worked for the city for many years, and during that time there was a lot of controversy on the city council, the manager, the mayor. And it's hard in a little town because, like I said, you walk out this door right now and you're going to run into somebody.
Sure. You know what? I've been involved with that. I was on the Chamber of Commerce as a board member, and I was president of the Chamber of Commerce for a number of years. And there was controversy when I was president.
So you've been almost on all the boards in town. That's kind of interesting.
So I still serve as president of the Hospital Foundation Board.
Okay. And I just sent a message out to who's the president or CEO?
Josh Neff of the hospital.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think I sent them a message to ask them to come on.
Yeah. Josh is a good guy, so he'll do it. So
that gives you a broad a range of different ideas and different boards to sit on. So have you sat on other than the commission board that we were both on?
Right.
You ever think about running for a commissioner down the line?
No, I haven't. I have, I know Tim Malone very well.
Yep.
He's running for it.
I really like that. I really like Tim.
Commissioner. So, who knows? Who knows what will happen when I get done with my stint here?
Maybe mayor. So what issues is pushing on Morgan facing right now? Good and bad. When it comes to just all around general, I know we're facing the housing. We need more houses.
There's a lot of housing projects going on right now.
I think
More
we can't
housing
improve
projects going on right now than I've seen since I've lived here.
And I think we can't prove enough to get bills as fast as we need them because of the one issue. So there's a housing problem. There's been some questions on the water. What else are we facing?
You know, the water project, the NISP as they call it. I haven't really dived into that a lot. I know we're on. There's several municipalities involved with this NISP project. And I think it's common knowledge, and Brent even mentioned on the radio and with you that there's a lawsuit involved. That's all the municipalities
And that's,
involved.
they said once that stuff gets passed and when it goes through the courts, it's almost a given that there's going to be one side or the other.
Right.
There's the lawsuit type thing. It's really just, it's more the lawyer side of it, not the city
Correct.
City side of it?
The lawyer side and the engineers, because they're not suing the city. So it's the engineers, but
So it's just no more water that we need?
it's water down in the future, yes.
Okay. How far out does that go?
That, here again, I haven't dwelled into that project
You
yet.
think that-
So,
Good
For
10,
for a long
15, 20
years.
you think, right?
I know the project's been involved for a long time,
Yeah.
in the works for a long
Yeah.
time. I've heard it's been in the works for like 10 years now.
Oh, yeah. It's probably ever since they switched the water over from the good water to, it's a good and bad water back in the day. We used to hard water. But
So that's one of the things I still need to study up on, is that yes, where it's going.
yeah. So what do we think on the housing?
The housing, like I said, we got,
When we were on the commission board, there was 451 and then a 350 complex, right?
yeah, so right now,
And that's going to be, which is south of town off of West Street. Those are housing. Though.
there's Center Point, which
Center Point is
there's,
right behind us. We're right now.
right, well, it's right be east of the PD, the police department.
Okay.
Going in, there's south of the middle school called the Bijou.
Okay.
Yeah, and then there's,
And
the Cargill starting a new project over in the Gateway subdivision. They're building some houses.
now, did they buy a section over on the other side of the highway by Dairy Queen?
They did. There's going to be apartments over there.
Or is it at exactly?
Well, you know where the old Super 8 is?
Behind Dairy Queen. Okay.
Behind
Okay.
Dairy Queen in there. I think that, and where the old ice cream.
The parking lot touches RVs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and then I think another lot beside that.
Now, what are those? Those are coming in. Are they going to be, what were they, 300, 200?
We haven't got any information on what's going in there. That hasn't even went in front of the planning commission board yet.
That's a lot of houses.
Yeah, but the houses going up in Gateway, Cargill is doing, and then Bob and Ryan Elric is doing something
I heard that one on the
to the
radio.
south of them. So there is a lot of housing going up right now. It's just not happening that fast. It's
Yeah.
just in works. So you probably see a lot in the next year or two.
Okay. All right. So what in that Center Point, there's also, they getting ready to break ground the grocery store, or they already did?
They already broke down the buildings up of the grocery store.
Okay.
And then there's supposed to be another coffee shop going up right to the north of that.
There must be some money in some coffee. What would that be, our fifth one? Fifth coffee shop?
Not even keeping count, I don't know.
Now, what about are they still going to do
We're
the
8 or 9.
9?
8 or 9.
So
What about they still going to do the car wash?
car wash is in the works. And here again, I don't know nothing about the car wash. I just heard Brent talking about that in the radio with.
I heard at one time it was a car wash and a dog wash and
So
and all kinds of washes going on there. And there's also, there's a grocery store. Corf is coming in. I know
Corf is coming in,
I
and
got a couple of buddies that run.
there's supposed to be a sports bar going in over by the grocery
I
store.
know the guy that's building that. That's the Jackal.
Okay.
Yep. Good friends with my dad. The grocery store is also going to be local owned, isn't it?
Yes.
Yep.
Yep.
I don't remember the names of those people, but that's nice. Though. It's all going to be local.
Yeah.
Local people going.
It's going to have an ethnic background.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
there are some Mexican people. I think over that I can say that because I'm Mexican.
I didn't.
You don't wanna
I didn't
say
know
it?
the- No, I actually didn't know the ethnicity.
You just want to say it. I always do. I'm easygoing when it comes to that stuff. I know people get their feathers ruffled, but I don't need to be a bad thing to say. But anyways, so I recently seen, and there's a question I really want to ask. I wish I could have asked Brant because he would have maybe known more, but also City Council would have knowledge on this too. We were in Greeley. My parents were at Home Depot.
Mm-hmm.
Went through the line, paid for it. 15%. They raised their tax.
They did.
Yeah, they did. They added so they obviously have city county,
Uh-huh.
and they added another one on top of it, I know, 'cause Denver always has like stadium tax and all that stuff.
Right.
I don't know exactly what they call it really, but then they add another point or two on top of their city.
Oh, Brighton does that same thing.
Home Depot's doing it right now.
Yeah, because that's
they
where we
have-
were at.
Because they have somebody that's involved in higher politics, as we like to say here,
So,
and that's funding that.
so
No, I have not heard that really raised their.
yeah, I think it was like 14 or 15.
Every Home Depot is doing it.
So the reason I wish
Well,
could
how
ask,
can, I guess I don't understand how one business can do it, not the others.
I think they could, well, there's
Service charge.
service charges.
Is this service, okay, but it can't be a tax.
Well, this is how it come out on the receipt. That's why I was asking. That's why I was bringing this up. Was I didn't know if we knew how that happened, how it works. The city council know how that works. So I've seen some businesses in our town that charge it. And again, I wish I could ask. I think Brett probably would have got to ask me.
Yeah.
But I know it had to come through city council. But they do put the service fee and charge on the receipts. And if you look up the definition of service charge and service fee, I mean that's if you use a credit card. I paid cash. I paid cash at a place here in town that they still charge you for it. So it was a tax question I wanted to ask. I just didn't know who handles that.
Well, and that's another whole other ballgame when it comes to service charges and credit cards.
Yeah,
I believe,
because that's the fee charge like we have at our store. But that's we pay that fee. We don't charge the extra for it.
exactly.
But on the receipts that a couple businesses in town that do it are charging it as a service fee, but a service fee is for a credit card.
Mhm.
So if you pay cash, really you shouldn't have to charge that.
Even at the city, I just asked Brent this the other day. I seen some credit card fees on there, and I go, "Don't tell me you're carrying a balance on this stuff." He goes, "No, that's the fees that we get charged for the people using their credit cards
We pay utilities.
Utilities.
Yep. Yeah, because we charge, or we pay. I think ours is like a quarter.
Yeah, and you as a
30
store
cents.
owner would know.
I think ours is about 25 cents. When they're all said and done, it's like a 10 cents fee plus all. There's 10 other fees that they charge.
Even if you go into DMV nowadays and use your card,
Yeah, there's
Well, most government agencies do charge that service.
they
fee
charge
on
the
top.
fee to the customer. So we eat that. We eat the fee at our store. We don't charge the customer. I mean, it's in the long run, it's in your markup.
Right.
So that was just a question. I didn't know if city council gets into that or I don't know where who takes care of that when it comes. I'm sure you'd vote on it. Where it comes
yeah.
to.
When it comes time to, if we want to pass that service charge on to customers or not, that would be city council. I would think that would vote that. And Brent says that, Brent, when I asked Brent this, he said this has been brought up in the past in city council meetings, whether we continue fronting this or we pass it on.
I think it's understandable when it comes to on that issue, but on my end of it, I think it's not. You should cover it in your product. I think that's how when you're paying utilities is a little bit different. That's understandable, I think. But so after that one, my other question was about. It has to do with housing. Do you think are we going to have an issue with housing and people eventually? Not having enough housing, just not enough at the time that we need it.
I just read an article at a bank where we right now nationwide are a housing shortage.
Yeah.
We have not built as many houses as we have in the past,
Yeah.
and we're playing catch up. And it's going to take probably 10 years to get caught up, is what this article said on the housing.
So that was when we had COVID in the liquor business. So liquor stores didn't shut down, but all the factories and the warehouses did close. So the only way, and we're still not caught up. The only way for the liquor business and the beer business to catch up was 1 to 2 years. Everyone just stopped drinking, which isn't ever going to happen. and then it would slowly get the flow back in. But that's never going to happen. I mean, that's like you have to start drinking water for the water to catch up. That will happen. We need it. So just the thing I read the article too about what gets me is that we don't have enough houses, but we're also behind on reproduction, human beings. I don't see how that.
Well,
crazy.
that's a cycle. I mean, that's my years of banking. I've noticed families having
I mean, how was our families back then? We had my dad has 12 on his side, my mom has 12 on their side. Back then, they just had kids.
But still, there was those families. I got one brother,
Yeah.
so
See, there's six, 3 and 3 girls, 3 boys.
and my wife is one of 6 in her family.
So I wonder how they figure that. How they.
Good question.
Crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy.
What about, how much time we got? We still good on some time?
Yeah, we're at 40 minutes.
Okay.
Well, time flies.
It goes quickly. A lot of people come on and think they're nervous. They're hard to do. What are key points? I know you wanted to hit on some things to talk about because council is a learning experience, and I love hearing those stuff. What key points you want to hit?
Well, my key points is, and the reason I ran for council and I wanted to get involved is I wanted to use my background in finance to look over the financials of the city and hopefully give them some insight, say why you doing this, or maybe this would be done better this way.
Do we have
I think we
choice
have-
though?
I don't know yet.
Okay.
Good question.
Yeah.
I hope we don't, and I don't see that we do, I guess.
I don't feel like we've ever had an issue when it comes to that.
But I think from what I've seen so far with all our department heads coming in with their proposals from the budget this year, everything's coming in under budget.
That's nice. That's good.
So that's a good sign.
So then, speaking of budget, you're already working on 25, correct?
And we have our retreat the end of March.
So what do you do on, what's the retreat? What is it? What do you do? I mean, obviously, you're going to talk about the budget, but
Good. This will be my first retreat, so I will learn. But interestingly enough, I did bring this with me. We're going to talk about it looks like 5 different areas here, being infrastructure, the quality of life, which is the citizens and the parks and stuff for the citizens within the community. Employee development for the city employees, making sure they're have what they need. Public safety, and finances and taxes.
Okay.
So that's going to be our topics.
that's crazy to think already we're February going into March and you're already doing 25,
Yeah.
25 budget, 2025 budget. That's 10 months ahead of time.
True, but I mean, here this is just the beginning stages.
Yeah.
What we're talking about, what we want to see. The council members are going to make a list of what they think they'd like to see, and John Brennan, the city clerk, is going to compile all those before the meeting. And then I'm sure this will be some sessions throughout the year. And I'm guessing at this because I've never been involved with this yet. And then towards the end of the year, we'll develop that into a budget.
So how does it work then when you're doing, so the budget's set a year in advance, roughly, kind of talked about, I guess. What happens going through 2024, we get to July, oh crap, we're overshot, or what do we do?
With any business, there's going to be things that come in over budget.
Yeah.
So
You just start making cutbacks and
you gotta, in the banking business, I can attest to this.
Yeah.
We got a budget within the bank as well. We have expenses and we have income. Now, when it comes to our income in the bank, interest rates change beyond our control with the Fed meeting and changing interest rates.
Yeah.
Interest rates high right now, not as people as me borrowing money. So believe it or not, the bank's income may go down a little bit.
Yeah.
Because of higher interest rates, not many people borrow money.
so we got
So we got to adjust for that.
a pretty diverse council though, because we have the banker, we have the doctor, the mayor, we have 2 cops,
Cops,
3 cops, right? Sasha,
yeah. Caper,
and
Parks.
and then there's 2 other gentlemen. I know Bill.
Bill used to be a city employee.
Bill's he's just the overall good old boy guy, nice guy. I can talk to that guy for days. He's a good dude. The other gentleman I don't know too much.
Lauren Boyette.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know too much about. Is he? What did he do in the past?
I don't know exactly what Lauren has done in the past. I do have Lauren sits on me with the foundation board at the hospital.
Okay.
So I've known Lauren for a long time.
That was nice that you say that. There was so each one of you sit on a different from board, correct? So what are they?
Off the top of my head, I don't know. I know Lauren, and there's the foundation or the hospital foundation board is not part of the city.
Okay.
That's a separate organization.
Okay. Is it a requirement to have to be part of something else when you're on the council?
No, it is not. No.
Now, the one thing I asked Nation was about Caper is it Zasha or Caper that's kind of like next vice president?
Keeper. He's the mayor pro tem.
Okay. See, I didn't know I didn't know that was they had that.
He's next in line.
Yeah.
So,
And that's voted on by the board, by you guys,
By the
right?
council,
By
yes.
council. So we're getting some time here. What do you think, drink? Kind of get off the city stuff. Would you,
Have that again.
was it a yes, I'd buy and take it home?
Yeah, absolutely.
How was yours? Yes?
Absolutely.
So what's funny is that when I asked Nation to come on, and I should have disclosed this tonight before we started, but I asked him, I said, is it okay, you sure you're okay we can have a drink on there?
Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah. So we had a drink. We drank some whiskey, a cigar blend whiskey. That was really good.
Okay.
I was scared to do that because I didn't want someone to say so. I didn't want anybody to get in trouble for one. But in the mix of that, you know how town talks and people talk. I should disclose this like we disclosed with Aaron and Jody this weekend. Anything and everything when I invite people on, it is bought and paid for by me. It's not bought on the tax dollar. It's not bought on city time. It's not any council money or any type of funding from the Republicans or Democrats. I sponsor this. I sponsor this stuff, the food and the drinks through Brew&Chew, the podcast. Freddie and I, through his, he does his food truck. My liquor store, my personal, all the equipment and stuff is ours personal. The block gives us the platform to do it on because. Again, the block is not a one candidate or one-sided there for everybody. I mean, you come here during the day, you'll see all kinds of different groups, clubs meeting here. Economic group, some of the oil field guys, I've seen some come in here and get coffee and donuts and things like that. So I like the place and what they've done with it. I don't know if you've been out here much to visit and you haven't tried the new restaurant?
Have not tried a new restaurant. No.
Gotta try it. Barry does some amazing food. The bars, obviously, they got some amazing
Been
stuff
at the
there.
bar a number of times.
Yeah. So the good thing a good place to meet out here and do things. So. And Julie lets us. I always tell her I call her the boss, and we're just a bunch of kids that keep asking if we can do things, do this and that. So, but she helps out and does great with that. So all said and done, I appreciate you coming on. I hope the other guys come on. We got Doug coming.
Yeah.
I didn't throw the invite out there to everybody because I wanted to kind of. I'd like to get everybody that's in the same ward at the same time. But now that after just meeting with you and Brent, I see how the diversity of the background.
And as I say, I got a lot to learn.
Yeah.
So
And I
I think
think
I never overspoke. I said the wrong thing tonight.
you know what? There's going to
If
be
not, I'll be the first to say, well, I was wrong with that.
and there'll be someone to point something out. I mean, I already got it called out on myself. So, but anything else that's like heartfelt or anything like just to let the people know in town. I like that this come on and people get to know you a little bit more. For those that watch it, will maybe not be so scared.
Sure. Exactly.
Join the council or just come and watch or listen to. But what else would you tell the community or people in your ward and the community?
Well, just don't be afraid to reach out to your ward, your council member in your ward, or if you run in any one of us. Any one of us will talk to you no matter where you live or who we are, where we live.
So you
So,
can always go on before the meetings is when the public gets time
correct.
to give their opinion, right?
Correct. Every meeting, they can have public comment. That's anything not on the agenda. Got 3 minutes.
Did we miss anything on your points?
No, nothing at all. So appreciate
How did I picked on Brent with this one too? How did the copiers and the paper and stuff come out? He was on the front page with all his papers and how did that end up?
Brent hasn't given us an update on that. So
I picked on that one because he was on the front page of the paper, the review that comes out every week. So I picked on him on that one. I kind of thought it was funny with that. So you got anything?
Yeah, so in the comments, I put the link to the maps for the city of Fort Morgan.
Oh, thank you for the words.
For all of them, I put
Okay.
in general so that you could look and just educate yourself. I also put the Google link for After Hours Fort Morgan
Okay.
to say thank you for the drinks and
Yep.
all of that. So
Right on. So hopefully we can maybe continue this. I mean, when I think we modernize some stuff and get some younger people interested. Maybe this might be the way.
as I learn more, I hope to be on again and
So
share my insights.
that's great. Thank you for coming with him.
Thank you.
So the last question, we kind of got off a couple of weeks here since we're doing some other political stuff. We get separate from this area, but with this, Freddie and I, we wanted this for the community. For trying to keep it local. Our food truck Friday that he came up with and him and Julie came up with and I got involved with. It's all local. We try to keep the local food trucks and that to do that. I believe in people. I think everybody has something that they're good at. If they got to find that niche. So with that being said, I always like to ask the people, if it was over today, tomorrow, tonight, are you happy with the person that you are and where you're at?
Absolutely.
Yeah. You're the fourth one that said that. Fourth one, right? The girl,
Two in one night. I think
Amanda, before you. I feel
think
that.
the world's
You think the world's ending?
two in one night.
Oh yeah, true. The other one was Brant, Amanda,
Pastor Drake.
and Pastor Drake. And
Yeah.
So I think that's good because I think if you're happy with yourself, you can enjoy your work and always make a work and home happy.
There's always going to be frustrations. It's just how you handle them.
Yeah. So I appreciate it.
All right.
Thank you very much, and hopefully we get the other guys on. I send a message out to the mayor. We'll hopefully get him on.
Awesome.
And but we will have Doug on in next week's city council meeting. So make sure you guys watch that. And then the following Tuesday, Doug will be here.
Cool.